Hello and welcome to Bad Boy Cinema, your number one mid-2000s review podcast.
Way too loud.
Way too loud. All right, your number one mid-2000s movie review podcast. I'm your host, Rick Reel, and with me is my co-host, Elliot Film.
So true. I'm turning you down. Okay.
Turning me down? All right.
I can't. I'm not allowed.
That's
hello,
fine.
everybody. I'm doing fine, by the way. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, well, you know, I know you're fine.
I'm fine.
Because we are, you know, as people who have both undergone cryogenesis, freezing. You know, you kind of have that bond. You know, so I don't need to ask how you're doing. I know you're you know, we've been through it together.
It's kind of like we're twins now. We have telepathy.
Yeah, it's one of the side effects they don't tell you about. When Disney gets out of there, we'll be able to go right into his noggin, and then we'll know all the secrets of Disney, which are
look out for
classic
Mickey
movies.
Mouse 2 coming.
If Mickey Mouse was so good, why didn't they make Mickey Mouse 2?
It's a great question.
Honestly,
the people never stop asking that, and nobody's answered.
I saw you were drinking a special beverage.
Yeah, I did. You know, they have spices. You remember the spice trade?
I do. The East India Trading Company. I'm very familiar.
They've kept that up. And our close personal friends, Coca-Cola, have released a spiced soda.
They still have the cocaine in that, or no?
I don't think so. I hope so.
That's a shame. That was one of my favorite treats.
By the end of this episode,
one of my favorite. If it's a good one, then we'll know the answer. So this week, if you couldn't already tell, we are going to discuss Hitch, the 2005 romantic comedy directed by Andy T. and starring Will Smith, as well as Eva Mendez, Kevin James, and Amber Valletta, whoever that is.
I'm familiar, to be honest.
And
I'm still just catching up.
For sure, yeah.
There's
a lot of actors and actresses out these days. I will say the director Andy Tennant has done what appears to be basically nothing of interest. Hitch might be his
crown jewel.
I mean, is Sweet Home Alabama, is that a movie people like from 2002? Starring Reese Witherspoon? Could be.
I believe I've heard of Fools Rush In.
Yeah.
With, Matthew Perry.
I mean, but I think that might be it.
Yeah.
This isn't the best selection that we've seen on this podcast.
Yeah,
maybe even one of the worst. No shade to Andy T, but you make a movie like Hitch, and then it's like, what else are you going to do with your career?
Yeah, we've. I mean, like, unfortunately for Andy T, we've only done box office smashes on this podcast.
And how much of a box office smash was Hitch? So the budget. Oh well, it was pretty good. Yeah, for a budget of 50. How do they not know what the budget is? Wikipedia says 55 to 70 million.
I mean, it depends on your source. Hollywood accounting.
True. Yeah. So I mean, even at the high end of 70 million, they made 371 million on this. So that's pretty good for a movie like this. Again, 2005 might not have been the best year for film, but I think this is a very 2005 movie and really speaks to the heart of a 2005 America, in my opinion, from what I've read, because I wasn't there.
Think. Now, I think this might come across poorly. Hitch, to me, is truly a movie It's like if Fight Club was made for incels.
I was gonna say that Hitch is a very incel movie. Watching it, I was like,
extremely incel.
This is weird. Yeah, it's super weird. And especially the character Alex Hitchins.
Hitch.
Character. What kind of name is Alex? Right? Who goes by that? Alex Hitchens, Will Smith. His origin story is like he was really annoying to a girl, and then she dates somebody else, and then he's like, I'm gonna be the #1 dating guy, and I'm gonna do like pickup artist stuff, but like in a good way.
Yeah, only for the real nice guys.
Only for the real, because the dude from Burn Notice only exists, so you could be like, see, I'm one of the good ones as far as pickup artists go.
As far as lying to women to get pussy,
he wasn't really lying. He was just he was putting on a bit of a show, but
he was putting on airs of some kind.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you were saying what I thought you were going to say, because I was like, yeah, it's very much, this is like a weird premonition, maybe a deadly premonition of
could be
of incel culture. Maybe a lot of the reason, I think a lot of incels watched Hitch and just took
they were
the
like,
wrong
wait
message.
A minute, I'm Kevin James if he wasn't a loser, which is the wrong message to take from the film, but I think that's what they got.
Because he's not even he's just kind of like dorky, but he's like
he has asthma, and that's like,
and he wears glasses, and he's fat, much like Po from Kung Fu Panda, as we've discussed. Much like they don't let you forget Po is fat. They don't let you forget Kevin James is like a fat guy with asthma who's an accountant. But yeah, like he doesn't seem like, he seems like a chill hang, Yeah, he's got a little riz.
He does have a little.
He's got that quirky white boy riz, which
I will say about this movie, I wasn't expecting it. I kind of enjoyed the slapstick of it. I think it kind of hit.
So I think we should talk about like the marketing that we remember of this movie, right? Because it's an instance of, and we've kind of talked about this before, I think, where
absolutely
the way the movie is put in a trailer does not necessarily represent the final product. In that, I guess it's like a romantic comedy, but it doesn't feel it. There's traditional romantic comedy stuff, and then the way that you see the movie is that you're getting a bunch of clips of like Kevin James being like kind of a weirdo. He's dancing and like being cringy, and then like Will Smith is cool, and like that's the juxtaposition that you think the movie's going to be based around, right?
Yeah,
that the cool guy's going to teach the nerdy guy how to like get girls, which is like what happens, but that's not really the focus of the movie. Like, Kevin James's character is not introduced immediately into the film. There's often large chunks of time where he's not even around.
Yeah, he's like
he's very tertiary kind of to the whole thing.
For being a main character, he's
kind of irrelevant.
Which, speaks
it's fine.
to,
I mean, I think
incel culture, I think.
Well, I mean, because the more interesting story is obviously the one that is in the movie, which is like, the dating coach guy getting caught being a dating coach guy, and then that makes him evil. Even though, again, like what he's doing is just like, be impressive. He's not really giving any particularly great advice.
It's interesting that he tells Kevin James, like, hey, like, you know who you are? Just don't. Every part of you, just don't. And then Kevin James doesn't listen, and then
he's got game.
He gets the girl.
He ends up being charming by being kind of a weirdo, and
it was kind of like the Space Jam. It was just water the whole time.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if I saw that,
yeah, I read about it.
Spoilers for Space Jam. It's water the whole time. I guess
it was water the whole time. And then they're like, Hitch, what did you do to be a dating coach? And he's like, I didn't do anything.
He's like, I didn't. Which it is a sweet message. It's just be yourself. But It's a little bit more nuanced than that, where it's like be yourself because like, you know, there's little your innate little quirks are going to be charming to somebody. You know, maybe
And
not
may just be the
necessarily.
most famous woman in New York.
It might be, you know, if you're Kevin James. But I will say, so to go back to your point about the slapstick, I will say the non-Kevin James plotline things where there was slapstick, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It's like when it turns to like Kevin James is the punchline for being like fat or being weird or having, you know, whatever. And like the stuff that you would find in the trailer for Hitch that tries to sell you on a completely different movie than what you're getting. I didn't like any of that. I don't know if it's like I liked it when I was, you know, younger, even though I saw it, you know, in a crowd, you know, it's complicated. Time is not necessarily going in a straight line.
Time is an ocean, not a river, everybody.
That's very true. And so when I was younger, seeing this on an airplane a couple of times, because that's how I consumed this movie. This was a revisit for me.
Yeah, with the Wright brothers, you were.
Yeah, when I was watching Hitch, yes, on portable DVD player
in Kitty Hawk, Indiana.
Yeah. Well, North Carolina, right? I thought that's where they were from. Yeah,
I don't know. It's been a long time, to be honest.
It has been, but also it feels like it hasn't been a long time at all because we were asleep.
Yeah. Once again, time is an ocean, not a river.
It's very confusing. If you think you're confused, think about it. I mean, forget about it. But
imagine being asleep for 100 years and waking up and watching Hitch.
It's very. That would be. I mean, that's actually not the worst movie. You know,
no.
It's not. I think watching Bedazzled would be. I would kill myself to that before I would kill myself to watching Hitch. If I had woken up, and that was the first thing that somebody put in front of me. Yeah,
fair,
but right, yeah, like I think that's the right opinion. But yeah, no, the Kevin James stuff just found tasteless in a.
It is very like Looney Tunes.
Yeah, it is. Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes.
He's floating up to the
like when he slips on the marbles and he like, I don't remember what he does, but you know, it's a bit over the top. It's a little Three Stooges.
I like the part where he's dancing and he has to dance cool because Will Smith told him to dance cool, and that's how I learned how to dance. Was watching this movie. I was like, oh, you got to stay up here. And I was like, when I was, you know, watching this on a plane in middle school, you know, 2000, probably 6 by the time I was on a plane, right? I was just like, oh, I'm taking notes on what Will Smith is saying. And I didn't really, you know, the movie ends before the flight's done. So you kind of miss the messaging.
You don't realize.
I'm like, oh, the problem is that he got caught. Yeah. Although again, he didn't really do anything wrong, which the movie tries to really make it seem like he's, you know, again, Burn Noticed only exists. What is that actor's name? I keep calling him
that. Michael Rappaport.
Jeffrey Donovan. Yeah, he was in Burn Noticed. Yeah.
It's not Michael Rappaport. That was a joke, everybody. Yeah, it's what does he do? Because he, at the start of him meeting Albert, Kevin James.
Also, as an aside, how great is it that Kevin James is playing a character not named Kevin?
I mean, his
acting on display from him was because he actually had to act, at least in the beginning of the movie, kind of like a loser who doesn't just automatically like hook up with a hot lady, you know?
Yeah.
Which is unusual for him because he's usually just a.
Yeah, usually in his work, you start in media res already in a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. If this was like a Kevin James directed movie, it would start with him already being with like the success story that introduces Hitch, and then somebody else is like, you know, someone that he's coaching, right? And then it'll like cut to him being friends with Hitch the whole time, and he's there. Or maybe he just is Hitch and he's already married.
Yeah, if Kevin James directed this, he would be Hitch, and the rest of the movie would be identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, great acting from Kevin James being called Albert.
I mean, I don't think they gave a little tip of the hat from the Academy for him for best supporting actor, but I think they should have.
Yeah,
I think
I'm gonna fact check you on that. Let's see. Hitch,
I don't think you need to fact check me if Kevin James got an Oscar nomination for Hitch. I don't think that happened.
Well,
I don't think anyone did.
That's why I'm going to look it up. You don't think?
I don't. Oh, did you know that it was remade as Partner in Hindi?
I'm seeing that. Getting remade 2 years later.
That's crazy. I kind of want to watch Partner to see if it's
Okay. Eva Mendez nominated for an Alma Award, Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture.
For this?
Sure.
I don't think
I believe so. I believe so. It's hard to tell. I don't know how the internet works yet. I'm still catching up. Will Smith nominated Best Actor in the BET Awards. So,
I liked Will Smith in this movie because speaking of that, the quality of acting, right? We have Kevin James not going. He's playing a character not named Kevin, so he has to remember another name. That's great for him. That's huge. But Will Smith has to play kind of not like a sleazy guy in this, but he doesn't have. He seems like the kind of guy, kind of like The Rock, where he's always going to be like a good guy in a movie. Maybe not to that degree, but in that kind of neck of the woods, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like Tom Hanks a little bit.
Yeah,
where he will, but like not really.
Well, the
worst. Yeah, he Will Smith. Will Smith.
They should make a movie about that.
So true.
I definitely have to watch that movie.
Me too. We should maybe do Hancock one of these days because that's like his most villainous role.
Yeah, I think adding to the Will Smith kind of catalog on the show, I think would be something that not only would we enjoy, but the audience could really benefit from to learn more about some classic mid-2000s films. Even though we will do other periods of time on this show, but
we absolutely will do other periods of time. Who's to say when or what period? Could be late 2000s,
Yeah.
Early 2000s. The world is your oyster on this.
But the mid 2000s, is an interesting time, right, for film because there's a lot of
they don't make movies like this anymore.
They don't make movies like this anymore. You're not going to get a Hitch these days, especially because you make Hitch these days, it's gonna be like red pill pickup artist stuff, which could the 2005 movie Hitch have influenced some of that, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, if they made Hitch 2024, Hitch would be played by Jordan Peterson.
that would kind of rip, honestly. Oh, just get and
lock
have
your elbows
and have Ben Shapiro play Kevin James. That'd be great. That would be that's a movie.
That could be a movie.
Clean your room, please.
This is the only pickup advice he has. Clean your room.
Yeah, they retool the script so it's just his 12 rules or what, I don't know what it is, but his stupid
his rules for life.
Yeah, have that be just the movie, and he never gets caught, or he does get caught. And they're like, actually, you're great. If we're turning this into the alt-right propaganda machine, that I think that the script in 2024 would be. Well, honestly, this feels more like a 2019 piece.
Yeah.
But
the Overton window has shifted too far in one direction or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I don't even know what it would be. It's crazy how much things have shifted.
Look,
Let me
I
tell
mean,
you.
I'll say it again. They do not make movies like this anymore.
They can't. No. And it's I don't know. But like, did you like the movie? Would you not to get our ratings in halfway through the episode, but like,
yeah, I would throw maybe 1 or 2 tomatoes at this movie, but not 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 a whole bushel of tomatoes. Just throw 1 or 2 at it at certain points.
yeah.
I mean,
But like
like
star wise, out of 5, let's give like a normal rating. What would that be? What would that look like?
I don't remember what I gave it on Letterboxd. Follow me on Letterboxd, everybody.
Oh yeah, what I forget. I need to like use. I have Letterboxd. I watch movies, and I never.
I'm using it pretty prodigiously.
I need to put Dune 2 in there.
The problem with Letterboxd is they don't sort it how I want, and then when you change it, they change it back.
Elliot film. You've got. I
It
don't
looks
think
like
you
I
reviewed
did
it.
not. It looks like I did not review Hitch. I would say 2.5 to 3 stars, probably.
I 2.5. Really, I feel like this is more of your movie than mine. I think I came out of this pleasantly surprised at it being like coherent and watchable.
Yeah, I was expecting
You know what I mean?
it to be a 0, to be honest.
I think Bedazzled's like a 0 that is elevated by how funny like some of the bits are,
Brendan
and that they
Fraser
don't and that they can't do those bits
undeniable in that
anymore.
film.
Right? Exactly. He is carrying it. The most sensitive man in the world, carrying it.
Yeah.
When he's Abraham Lincoln, that's a whole star.
Yeah.
Whereas there's not the high highs of Bedazzled and Hitch.
No.
No, it's a pretty. I would say maybe 3.5. So maybe I feel a little more positively about it than you. But
I think I went in thinking this was a 0, and I went into Bedazzled thinking it was like a 4.5.
Had you seen Hitch before?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't really. I do remember the advertisements. I had a Neuralink in cryogenesis, and
they're playing a lot of Kevin James dancing.
A lot of Kevin James, a lot of Will Smith kicking Eva Mendez in the face.
Which that was funny.
I mean, look, when was the last time you saw a high-profile actress get kicked in the face? They don't make movies like that. They don't do it like this anymore.
Yeah. I was surprised that she just didn't end the date. That first date that they went on, very creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know who would like. I get that he's being like kind of cool and confident, and like theoretically that's
I understand appealing. Why she accepted the date.
I would have thought.
I think
getting kicked in the head, I would have been like, really, buddy? Especially because it's like you definitely rigged your stupid jet ski.
Yeah.
To die so that you guys could both be on the same jet ski. I mean, unless he did, they don't address that at all, really.
No, which is
like
do they just leave it floating in the Hudson River? Like, I don't know what they did.
But you're supposed to think that because he's good at the dating doctor thing, he would have planned that. He planned all of that out. But they also established that he's like genuine, and like also things weren't going right, which was kind of true. But like, I don't think Will Smith meant to kick her in the head. I mean, like, the actor did, but
the
Will
Smith did, but Alex Hitchens
did not.
It was an oopsie.
Yeah. But like, if his thing dying, so that somebody else, they have to get a little close and personal on one jet ski. Yeah, that sounds like something that if I was a weird dating coach guy with like a weird black tile business card that just has a phone number on it, that's something I would do. You know,
you plan ahead for that, but he did not plan ahead to be on the back. I'll say that.
No. So true. And then, but if someone took me on a date where we were at Ellis Island and then you just bring up all this stuff about like my family, like specifically, like you did all that
After
research,
you,
I would
like,
be like, I'm never talking to you again. That's psychotic.
yeah,
That is
after
so
like
creepy.
delivering walkie-talkies to her work.
Yeah, like
she didn't tell him where she works.
Yeah, that's you can't be doing that. And you shouldn't be.
No,
But
you should not. All the things that Hitch does, bad advice.
It's bad advice, but at the same time, you're watching the movie, you're like, damn, that's kind of cool. Like, it's cool that he did that. And you think about it for like a half second, you're like, oh no, that's wildly inappropriate.
I think that's all rom-coms.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, he like interrupted their wedding and he said like, I object. That's fuck. And then you're like, wait a minute. Like they'd spent like, I don't know, $20,000 on this party.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
you don't
true.
just like, maybe you don't just like yell inside of the church.
Yeah. So, which I guess brings me to they want you to think that he's a good guy, right? You know, you're under the impression Hitch is a good guy. He also is doing a lot of weird stuff, and they want you to think like it's kind of weird because he's like the date doctor thing is bad, but also they want you to think he's a genuine good guy. And now that I'm like thinking about this movie and talking about it, you know, I'm discussing it, classic movies as we do on this podcast. The more I think the movie doesn't make any sense, and maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know, but it's trying to have its cake and eat it too. And
because it's like, you know, women don't give nice guys a chance. And then when you look at the guys that are being given a chance in this film, you're kind of like, well, I don't know that our good friend Albert is that like,
he's a weird nice guy. Yeah, he's just kind of a dork. You know,
like, I don't know. You have to be a very specific person to get along with Albert in this film.
Yeah.
I would not be his friend personally.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't like him.
I would not.
Well, but then it's weird that like, you know, Will Smith and Kevin James are just like hanging out like in the movie. Like they're at some point their relationship is not like customer and like
it's not transactional.
It's not transactional. They're just like buddies, which happens out of nowhere in my opinion.
And it's only Kevin James.
Yeah, and he's not friends with any of the other people that he's. And it seems like he made a ton of money doing this dating coach thing.
Yeah,
again, really, really big premonition of the whole way things would kind of move in, you know, a decade from Hitch when it was released in 2005. Eva Mendez though, I feel like she fell off the map.
Yeah, what's she up to lately?
I don't think a whole lot. Last movie she was in 2014.
So true.
Oh yeah, she's in Bluey.
Okay.
All right, she's yoga
in
instructor.
A singular episode.
Born Yesterday.
Like
right, so never mind. I guess she's in something. She's in Bluey.
She was in Bluey 3 years ago.
Well, you know, maybe they'll bring her back.
Before that, it was 8 years before that. She was in a made-for-TV movie that nobody's heard of.
Wait, why was she in Bluey's that's in Australia? Why did they get her to do it?
It's called acting. I mean, yeah, like this filmography. 1, 2, 3, 4. She was in 5 movies in 2007.
She had a very busy mid to that. I mean, I know you want to do kind of get all the Jolie vehicles on here, but
absolutely.
I mean, we can watch the other guys.
We could watch
pretty
the
good
other
movie.
guys.
Pretty good movie.
Folks, sound off. Send us an email, badboycinemafanmail@gmail.com. Tell us to do a Jolie movie. Give me a little bit of voting power on this.
Give you any justification to force us to watch another Jolie picture that's not Kung Fu Panda.
She's
She was in
barely in
Ghost
them.
Rider. Wow, she did not pick them.
Yeah.
She should have. I think she just had a terrible agent because none of these are like.
Yeah.
Great.
Ghost Rider is one of the only films I've ever walked out of, and I walked out of it twice.
It's a shame that I liked her in this movie. Thought she was she was cool. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's find her agent.
Yeah,
Eva
her
Mendez,
agent should be fired.
If you're listening, come on here. You know about film.
Oh, she's married to Ryan Gosling?
Oh, she's
no
doing
idea.
fine.
Yeah, she's fine. She doesn't need an agent.
You're fine. On her Wikipedia, it does say years active 1996 to present. I don't know about present, but you know.
Yeah, presence. Do you think Ryan Gosling saw Hitch? And he was like, no.
Yeah.
No, they should do a Mr. and Mrs. Smith remake. Hear me out. Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendez. Now that would be a great movie.
That would be.
I think that's a good idea. I should be your agent, probably. Do better than the previous one.
I don't know if agents just pitch movies that don't exist.
I'd be a very good agent.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, Eva Mendez, you know about film. Come on the show. We'll discuss any one of your films. We'll discuss Bluey. We'll do a fucking.
I would love it. We should do an entire Bluey series. Which would be great because I've already watched all of it, so I wouldn't have to do any homework. But
I have watched none of it.
I think you would love Bluey. That's true. I think, given your taste of media being for babies,
I just like Wall-E. Wall-E's good.
And like Moana.
Yeah, the songs are good.
All right, we'll Miranda stan over here.
I do.
You listen to In the Heights. You listen to that soundtrack.
I've never listened to In the Heights or Hamilton. I still have yet to hear any of Hamilton.
Part of me feels tempted to be like, we should do like a In the Heights episode.
Maybe 2025.
Yeah, that might be. You know, we have to establish a fan base to then have them leave.
Yeah,
you know, I think that would be the better move.
That's true. Okay, I'm looking through my 5-star movies on Letterboxd to see what's my taste really.
Yeah.
Some great films in here: Glengarry Glen Ross, Paddington 2, Heathers.
Okay, movie for babies.
Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
I need to see that. I've actually wanted to see that.
It's genuinely a great film.
I like The Lonely Island. You know,
The Lonely Island.
SNL has not recovered since they left, and like all the other people that left at that same time period.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Bill Hader. I don't know what he was up to. I think he was on the show for like 7 years after that, but whatever.
No, they all like all the mid 2000, like all the good people from like 2000, like. I think Lonely Island being, or not Lonely Island, SNL being peak for me is like 2008 to like 2011 ish, 12. Like all the people in that time period that were good all left like 2013.
I believe that. I never really watched it, but I do remember.
I used to like pay attention to the skits and stuff, and like people at school would talk about them, and they were like, part of the cultural conversation. And now it's like no one cares because none of it's funny because all the people they have now are terrible except for Keenan.
Yeah. It's not my wheelhouse. What's Lonely Island up to these days? We got to get.
One of them's directing something.
Yorma. Yorma's like he's a director. He directs stuff.
It might be the other one that's not Andy Samberg.
Akiva.
Yeah,
I'm a big Lonely Island stan. I don't keep up with them, but
something.
Yeah, they're great. Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. The thing with Lonely Island to me is they're like, 2006 YouTube humor.
Yeah.
So anytime I go into a Lonely Island vehicle, I'm like, okay, this is not going to be that good because they're just three dudes and they're having a good time. And I'm always pleasantly surprised. Like, no, they're funny. They hit.
No, Lonely Island's great. They shouldn't be by every metric that you described, but
Yeah,
they're still they're unfortunately very funny.
They make hits. I wanted to do Hot Rod. I don't know if we'll do it on the show, but I just wanted to watch it in the near future.
Wouldn't mind doing it. I've never seen it, but I wouldn't mind doing Hot Rod.
Oh, Hot Rod is a banger, dude.
What year did it come out?
2005, baby. I think it's 2006 or 7.
That's really our wheelhouse.
2007, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, didn't do great at the box office, but
oh no, it did not. But I mean, look at that runtime, 88 minutes.
Cool. Ideal.
Hitch was a little long.
Hitch was quite long. 2 hours.
It did not need to be 2 hours. They could have shaved off 15 minutes somewhere. Probably like we don't need to see Kevin James not being able to dance and then getting
I don't think we needed Eva Mendez's family to be murderers.
Or we didn't need that. I don't think we needed her to like have the journalism subplot thing.
Yeah.
Like that didn't like I get that only exists because they needed to like out him.
Yeah.
As like being the dating doctor guy, but like other than that, there's like a lot of focus on that job, and she's like, "Oh, we need to pay attention to Kevin James and that famous lady that he's dating," and I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, that was weird. We didn't need Will Smith to be allergic to seafood.
Yeah, like just all these the weird little like goofy him getting. I guess loaded on Benadryl, which I found relatable, but we probably didn't need that either. Like we didn't need the dates to go poorly.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like this movie could have been an email. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
Have you said it before? I don't think you've said Hitch could be an email.
Hitch could have been an email.
It probably was to start with.
Yeah, and it should have stayed that way. Look, 2005. Chain Mail was going crazy in 2005. Just post a script.
Yeah.
Just, if you don't send the Hitch script to 10 of your closest friends, you'll die at midnight. It's a better movie already.
Does Gen Z have that equivalent of like fake cursed?
I don't think so. But they are in the post-apocalyptic wasteland of all communication being destroyed.
That's rough.
Mail is garbage. Never gotten good mail. The phones are like so bad. If I don't get a text before I get a call, I'm not answering. Even if it's a number I know and recognize and it's like a person I want to talk to, I'm like, that's probably not them.
Yeah, I don't even want to. I'll see a number or a name pop up in my phone. Someone's calling me, and I'm just like, what if I didn't see that?
Yeah.
What if I didn't pick up my phone right now?
And it's funny because everyone knows that you're always looking at your phone.
Oh no, but this time I left it. Although sometimes I do genuinely leave it in the other room because I'm like, doing laundry or something, and then.
Yeah.
5 missed calls later, I was gone like for 10 minutes.
And nothing happens. It's not important.
Yeah, very is rarely mission critical that I can't. Again, it could have been a text.
It could have been
very few things that
Look,
really.
Email is the only one that's not cooked in terms of communication these days.
I
And
get a
like
lot of
it
bad
is,
emails.
but you know why you're getting them.
I mean, I
You're
get a
like,
lot of like
oh,
phishing scams. Those are, you don't get those in text. I feel like text messages might be the only good way of communicating because you don't just
no,
get
my
like
text
random.
messages are all fucking like verification codes and like
Maybe you need friends.
no, that's not it. I get emails from like, oh, why am I getting an email from Adobe? Like, oh yeah, I signed up for their free trial 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, why am I getting an email from Lucy? It's oh no, this is Audrey. Audrey is like
Okay.
an audiobook service that I won a free audiobook to a year ago. Still getting emails from Lucy at Audrey.
You can't name your business a first name and then have somebody also with a first name, which is going to be most people. Sending you
Yeah,
emails. That's very confusing.
it's not
I
going to
didn't
be the
like hearing
Pope.
about it.
It's not going to be Madonna. And like, it's not going to be, no, even The Rock, he kind of fell off in terms of having a first name. So you
True.
got to hire the Pope if you're going to be Audrey. So like, I'm getting a bunch of garbage emails, but at least I know why I'm getting them.
Sure.
I don't know why I'm getting all these text messages, all this mail.
Yeah.
Sirius XM has a free offer. Get out of here. I don't know who you are. Stranger
Well, I mean,
danger. I wish I
I
could.
mean, it's Sirius XM, so
Yeah,
you know
but I
that.
wish I could stranger danger junk mail or phone calls.
They should. I mean, honestly, this would cost jobs, but they should just make junk mail illegal. I mean, think of all the paper you're wasting. You know, people take the
Truly.
junk mail and they throw it right into the
Ooh,
trash.
truly.
It is an environmental concern that you could save some amount of trees. Just make junk. I'm going to run for president, and I'll be like, look, I was cryogenically sealed away. So
Yeah.
I'm a man from another time, and that's going to be a positive. That's going to be very appealing. And then I'll say I'm going to get rid of junk mail. I'm going to make it illegal.
Yeah. Make America great again. We're removing junk mail and nothing else.
I think that would if that was I was like I'm going to keep everything exactly the same as it is right now, and I'm going to get rid of junk mail. I think I'd get everybody's vote.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make anything better or worse than it is right now, except for this one thing. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Well, all right, that's fine, I guess."
That's literally better than every other candidate we've ever had.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's just each time you run, it's like I'm going to make it's still going to stay the same. I'll do one other thing that everybody likes.
Gonna get rid of two-factor authentication.
Get rid of it.
It's gone.
And everyone will be like, it's so much less secure, but oh my God, it's so much easier to log in to buy things online.
Yeah. Every time I check the badboycinemafanmail@gmail.com inbox, my phone has to be like, is this you? Are you logging in from the same IP address that is only logged into this and nowhere else?
And you're like, yep.
That one's me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that one's me. Send us an email. Tell us to review Tomb Raider or Wanted or Salt. Or, now this is a big one, Hackers. I would love to
do Hackers.
I would love to do Hackers.
I don't know what Hackers is. I guess I would do it over those other ones because I feel like I already know I don't like the other ones. But
I think Wanted is truly bad.
I know it's bad.
I've never seen Salt or Tomb Raider, but I have seen Hackers a lot. I may have seen Hackers the most out of anybody.
Why would you see Hackers so many times?
It's honestly, truthfully, this is not a bit. I think it's my favorite movie. It's like a three-way tie. Now, these are all adult films. They all have cursing in them.
Yeah.
My favorite movie is three-way tie between Hackers, Heathers, and Arrival.
Is Arrival a Dinas film?
It is a Dinas film.
Let's see. I'm a big
Dinas
Dinas
V.
head. I like Dinas.
Dinas V. Yeah, I might watch Arrival next Friday.
We could do Arrival, and that would be not a mid-2000s movie to kind of
So true.
Mix it up. Yeah, that sounds like a good one. We can do that at some point.
Yeah, sorry we got kind of off topic from Hitch. We just talked
There's
about
not a whole
what we
lot
would
to
do if
say
we were
about
president.
Hitch.
I mean, we said enough about Hitch.
It's fine.
If Hitch was president, he would get rid of junk mail. That's all I'm saying. He would be like, I only want mail to exist for me to woo ladies.
I think he would get rid of the press.
Yeah. He would drain the swamp. I'll say it.
Yeah. Well, oh wait, I did want to touch on one thing, which is how much do you think the movie Hitch contributed to the ongoing saga between Will Smith and his wife? Because when I watched the movie, I sat there, I'm like, I don't think this is a major factor, but I don't think this movie is completely unrelated and disconnected. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to do some quick research. Okay, he got married in 1997. So they were married 8 years.
Yeah.
Probably 7 when they were filming. I mean, 7-year itch. It's
7-year hitch.
7-year hitch, as they say. Yeah, I feel like it may have been a bit of a sticking point, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Particularly at that timing.
Sort of like a butterfly effect, kind of.
Yeah, thankfully.
Maybe this one movie kind of just, led to Chris Rock getting slapped.
Could have been.
Could have been.
Could have had something to do with Kevin James effect. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, actually, fortunately for Willard, his name's Willard.
Ugh.
Cut that out.
I get why he goes by Will.
Cut that out, Willard. Yeah, fortunately for Willard, Tupac Shakur was dead by the time this movie came out. I feel like Jada didn't really see a reason to leave.
Yeah.
Other than Willard being named Willard. That's
which is reason
Hitch.
Enough.
Honestly, Jada. Oh, they are divorced. That makes sense. They divorced several years ago, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently they divorced in 2016.
Oh, but they were just like, wait, then why is he calling people? Why is he calling her his wife? I don't know what's
going on.
They're
now
not married.
I'm looking at so Willard was married to Sheree Zampino, divorced 1995. And then Jada Pinkett Smith, it says married 1997.
Oh, separated.
Separated.
Yeah, separated. Not divorced.
Gotcha.
So they're technically married, but they live in different houses, I guess.
Yeah. How do you think Jaden feels about that? Young Jaden.
We can watch the Karate Kid, his version.
That probably won't be happening.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I don't really want to do that, but
yeah, I don't.
The Pursuit of Happiness, we can get that on there.
I would do Pursuit of Happiness. I kind of like it. I also kind of like 7 Pounds. Anyway, this is not a Will Smith podcast. Next week,
it's an Angelina
we'll be
Jolie
doing
podcast.
Something. It might be an Angelina Jolie podcast. Next week, we will be doing something. Do you know what we're doing next week?
No.
I don't know when this. I think next week we're doing. I don't know, Bedazzled.
No, I thought we were doing Bedazzled before those.
All right, we'll see. tune in next week for a
Something.
surprise.